Morning, people. How's everything going? Let's jump in. We're going to jump straight in. The market's about to open up in a couple of seconds, in about a minute or so. Currently got a trade coming on euro pound from yesterday, which is running in some nice profits. So it's pushing up. I do think we're going to come and we're going to break this level here. So we're just going to keep an eye on that one and see what it's going to do. We're just going to go through and have a look at what potential we have today in the market. So let's put some music on. Let's get started. And that's it. We'll keep an eye on what's going on with this. It looks like it is pushing up nicely. So we'll just keep an eye on it. And that is it. Let's put some music on. Okay. So we're going to go through everything. Let's start from gold as we know it. So what's happened? Had a nice push up. We're now having a bit of a retracement, leaving a nice area between this level and this level. Let's have a look higher time frame. Any type of retest continuation would be really nice. Lower time frame, I do think it's a bit of a difficult one. But obviously gold does look like it wants to push up higher. Okay, so we got the pound dollar pair. Yesterday's session we pushed up really nicely. Turn this down. Yesterday's session we pushed up really nicely. We've taken this area right here, so we've got a high. So Monday's high has been made. Monday low is down there. What could we expect? Well, we've been in this kind of downtrend. We have now broken it. We could have a retracement and a continuation. Looking at what price is actually doing right now, I'm not too sure. 5-minute time frame, we look like we've broken under all of these EMAs. Let's have a look at where the 15-minute. I would say we've still got a little bit of room to come down into this area of demand. So 3471 would probably be the next target for pound. Maybe we get a bit of a retracement, so something like this. So something like that, take out some of these highs, and then you'd have into that level. Okay, same probably thing with euro. Euro is a little bit easier, just because we're having price consolidating into this tight range. So if we get a break to the upside, that's the kind of trade that you'd be looking for, a retest onto that range. If it's the opposite, then I'd wait just for price to come down, retest on that level, and then come back down into this area of demand right here. So that is what we would be looking for on those particular pairs. Now, let's have a look at the Dixie and see what the Dixie wants to do. So we've got quite an interesting gap on the Dixie, and I would be interested to see if it wants to fill it. So yesterday we actually talked about this when we were doing our levels. We were talking about price coming into this, pushing down and potentially creating that head and shoulders type of pattern. Now we don't know if this is going to be a head and shoulders pattern until it completes its pattern. Okay, but this is quite an interesting area of demand, and it's already come down here and it's already pushing up higher. So if we have a look at where the 50% is of this particular move, we don't know if this is going to hold and this is going to be a head and shoulders pattern, and this is going to be signs of a deeper reversal until we break into this 50 area, and then we decide to either push off or we actually come back down. So we don't actually know, and this is on a daily time frame. So if we go down on a 4 hour, maybe it was a little bit easier to see, or a 1 hour. Get rid of that. If we start trickling up like this and we can't find any more selling underneath this level and we don't push down, that will be sign for the overall head and shoulders of the on the Dixie, and then we're looking for a push up higher, and that will facilitate the overall higher time frame retracement. So those are the actual thoughts. Okay. USD CAD, not really looking at anything on USD CAD. USD CHF, I'm actually long USD CHF, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Obviously the pounds are running up really nicely. We're in about $2,000 profit, or just a nice 2% profit. I will be getting out at the highs right here. Other than that, let's have a look. So euro is very strong at the moment. Pound, nothing too interesting on the pound. Except for the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar yen looks okay. Bitcoin pushing up. Solana getting to that 200 mark. Overall, there's not really too much to talk about, but we may have that deeper retracement. But we're gonna watch this this for a little bit, see what's gonna happen. We got economic calendar. Let's have a look on the economic calendar. What have we got today? So yesterday was a very quiet day. We didn't really have much. We've got Powell's speech, not really that interesting. That's later on in the session. Going to be a quiet day. Doesn't look like there's going to be much going on. Does look like it's going to be a quiet sort of day. And that is it. Having a nice push up on USD CHF as well. We did take trades here yesterday. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit within the range. There's something very interesting about day trading. You really need to understand, if you're going to be day trading, you understand that most of the time you're going to put stops within the middle of the range, okay? Which is a problem. So if you were going to trade, let's say, this leg, a lot of people, including myself, let's say something like this. Let's say you were going to trade this area. You wanted to get long, you were going to trade this area. Now, anything within this range, because this is the low, this is the high, anything really within this range is actually still bullish. No matter if it breaks microstructure and all of this kind of stuff, anything really within that is bullish market structure. Now, if we go down to a 5 minute and you decide you want to get long and you put your stop here, let's say, you're basically just putting yourself in an area where you're probably going to get stopped out thinking that it's going to go lower, but it's actually not going to go lower because this is the pivot point for this particular move. And sometimes you can do it quite a lot. I've done it, I do it quite a lot as well. And it can be quite difficult sometimes to realize that you're putting your stops in areas of potential to get I wouldn't say hunted, but potentially to get stopped out on a normal retracement. And that's why you got to keep an eye on where you're actually putting your stops. Make sure you put your stops in the area where it's the last area to protect your account. We're coming into a nice area on euro pound. To be honest, this is a very big supply area. I'm actually quite happy with this, so I'm actually going to close this trade. So there you go. Let's have a look at USD CAD, because this is one that I'm looking at right now. So we've got a nice area, a nice push up. We've had a retest of prior highs pre-break. Okay. We're looking to push up. Now, we've got this very sharp imbalance. We've got a gap in the price action, and we've got the potential to Dixie to actually make that head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So we've got an area here that could get filled. Now on lower time frame, this is already pushing up. This is CAD. This isn't. I'm looking at USD CHF. CAD also has the potential to do it. We could get into a long on CAD instead. Why not? So I'm going to put my stop loss underneath this wick. Take profit right there. Okay, that is the trade that we're looking on CAD. So we've had a nice little wick there above the EMAs. Now, if we have maybe a retracement, hopefully we can get that momentum to the upside, coming back into these areas of supply. Lots of these areas are basically weak highs that hold a lot of orders. A lot of traders, if they're going short, a lot of traders would have their stops up in these areas, or just bulk levels of orders up in these areas, which are good areas for us to target. And that is it. So especially break, retest, it's giving that overall bullish type of market structure. Okay, even though this is not, we've had quite a long downtrend, we still got that bullish kind of retracement market structure that we can get maybe a continuation on lower time frames to facilitate just that retracement, and that's all we're looking for. Let's have a look and see what the others are doing. We're struggling on USD CHF to push through this level. Really needs to push through this level, to be honest. So you got the highs, you got the lows pre-break. Sometimes the best to look at is not actually look at the Dixies, actually to look at euro dollar to see what euro dollar is doing, because it is pretty much, it is one for one pretty much the same. As you can see, it's just basically the opposite way around. So if euro dollar is going down, then the Dixie's going up. The majority of the volume from the dollar is coming actually in euros. So if the euro's going down, you can bet the dollar's actually going up. So we're going to keep an eye on the euro and to see what that's doing. At the moment, it's consolidating. It's not really doing too much. If we get this break underneath this EMA, retest, and then coming up into this level, back into this area of demand, then we're good on our trades on CAD. Okay. Oh, so we're going to push down on CAD, coming down right onto this trend line. Stop is below this wick. Let's see what it's going to do. Oh, I've got something a little bit more chill. I haven't heard this before, but while we watch what price is doing. Euro coming down. Let's have a look on the 1 minute. See what's happening. Okay, back in profits. open. So let's have a look. So still a little bit undecided. We're currently just sitting down, sitting in an area. If we have a look at the euro, euro looks like it's starting to break. Okay, I reckon our CAD position's in drawdown now. Let's have a look here. So stop is below. So we either hold into this area. So this is the nice area of, prior highs pre-break. You've got the 50. The moment it doesn't look too good. Dixie doesn't. It's holding. Euro dollars seems to be holding within this range. Need to see some type of impulsive move. Okay, the CAD trade is nearly out. What's Euro doing? Euro looks like it's holding. Euro pound coming down. Euro Australian did really nice. Gold. Not too much. That's it. I think we're going to be out on this. Oof. It's nice. We haven't got too much risk on this trade. Got about 300 bucks. Euro's been a bit sticky. Anyway, I don't think too much is going to happen in this session. I think we're going to be sitting around. I think there's going to be a lot of moving around, a lot of consolidation. I don't think we're going to see too much. So the best thing to do is just update what's going to happen later on in the session. Today we're doing a New York session with Will from Traderlicia, so that will be very, very interesting. So you should see, we'll update everybody and talk about what happened with this particular trade. Most probably it actually come down and take me out before actually pushing up. If that is the case, then we would look for positions later on in the session when price is already shown its hand. Anyway, see you later, guys.